Hey guys, welcome to Supercars Mabini, and today I'm going to be talking about the mid-pack teams of Supercars. The first one, I'm going to go team by team. There's 4 teams that I want to talk about: Brad Jones Racing, Erebus Motorsport, Team18 and Grove Racing. So the first one's Brad Jones Racing, and what got me started on thinking about this team is their decline since they were a possible championship contender in 2013, where they had Fabian Coulthard and Jason Bright getting race wins and both finishing in the top 10 of the championship. But there were a few reasons why that happened in 2013. The key thing for them was that they got the jump in terms of working on car of the future. Brad Jones Racing had been improving year on year since they switched to Holden, and rose up to be 5th in the team's championship in 2012, and then in 2013 come alive and challenge for race wins. In 2021 we had Todd Hazelwood and Nick Percat as the key drivers to be leading the team. Todd did a good enough job half the time, but mostly it was Nick up the front. When he qualified badly, he raced well. He just did really well, whereas Todd struggled. And I was thinking, maybe that's because he's newer, so he needs to get up to speed. But if you look at Nick's performance compared to Tim Slade's compared to Todd Hazelwood's, yes, Tim Slade was his 8th year in the series when he joined Brad Jones Racing, so plenty of experience, knew what to do when he jumped into a fast car. And so he did that, and he did very well with that. Nick Percat jumped in 2017. That was his 4th year in the championship, and he was on the pace straight away. When it's your 4th year, it's still sort of early days. And it's not like he'd been in fast cars the whole time. He'd been in Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport, pretty much at the back end of the grid. But that first year was with Walkinshaw in 2014. He was with a team that could give him a car to get podiums and qualify well. Not that he was able to do that quite as well as he has done later with Brad Jones with a less capable car. Todd was in his 3rd year when he joined the team, and he had been able to match Nick Percat, and obviously for 2022 he's parted ways with BJR. So in 2022 we have Bryce Forward and Andre Heimgartner. Andre has not had a chance in a car that could possibly be in the top 10 of the championship. Grove Racing this year, but when he was with them, Kelly Grove Racing just wasn't able to give him the car, not consistently at least, and so he had to do his best to drag the car up the front, qualify it well, race it well, and for whatever reason the pieces of the puzzle weren't there to do that consistently like they were for Nick Percat over the last 5 years. Bryce Forward is in his 3rd year, so he has the experience of being in a better car for the last 2 years. He has got a podium, he has qualified well, we know that he can deliver the results if he's got the machinery and if he finds whatever he needs in himself to improve and to do a good job. BJR can do a good job. We've seen it when Tim Slade and Nick Percat were doing well together. The entire time that they were teammates, they were pretty much matched the whole time, so it's possible to have both cars do really well. It didn't happen with Todd, at least regularly. And so there's a few key things for Brad Jones in 2022, aside from the obvious Nick Percat and Todd Hazelwood leaving. The engineer for Nick Percat, Andrew Edwards, has gone to Triple Eight, which won't make a difference for BJR because Triple Eight have always been ahead of them. But they've also lost their team manager, Peter Vale. The team managers they've had have obviously been good team managers, so that hasn't been a problem. They just need to find someone. They might just promote within. It wouldn't be a bad idea. They've got enough people who've been in the team for a long time, so that's not going to be an issue for them. And the drivers they're getting, Andre hasn't had a chance to be in a top 10 capable car. Well, he's been in a capable car, he hasn't been in a top 10 championship car yet. So he will probably be able to get somewhere close to where Nick Percat was for the last 4 years. Top 10 of the championship, 18, 19, 20, 21. Not high expectations for Macaulay Jones and Jack Smith. Macaulay Jones needs to improve his racing better. There were a few big mistakes at Townsville. How do you have 8 DNFs in a car like that? bit of a tough year for him. And Jack Smith has shown that he can do well, but just getting tied up in a few clashes with other drivers is not really what you want to be doing. But I think that BJR can do well in the 2022 season based on what they've been able to do before and who they've got for this year. They'll probably get another good team manager, and they've got a couple of good drivers. Andre Heimgartner's a great driver. He's pulled his finger out when he got back into full time. It really comes down to how well the rivals do. So that's why I'm looking at several teams. Erebus, I don't know why I bother putting them as mid-pack. They're not mid-pack, they're best of the rest. But they don't qualify well all the time. And it really comes down to which of the two drivers are better at racing. Brody's a great racing driver. He doesn't give a rat's when he just bumps into you and puts a move up the inside. That's a Shane Van Gisbergen sort of move. You don't make a lot of friends doing that, but you get the results, and that's what the teams care about, and that's what the sponsors care about. And you also get on the highlights as well, so it's good for the sponsors indeed. Boost to be pretty happy seeing lots of highlights from the Boost cars. Pretty consistent for Erebus Motorsport. They're pretty happy with 2021, so they're happy to roll on for 2022. Next team is Team18. They're not changing anything in terms of who's in the key infrastructure, who's in the key role of the team management structure. That's all the same. It just comes down to whatever they do to make up for what happened in 2021, which wasn't the worst year. They're just having the same old troubles of qualifying badly and racing well. That's just what they've been dealing with. And Scott Pye had a fair few mechanical issues as well, which was disappointing. Yeah, but Erebus will probably be 5th again. 5th, or they're not going to beat Walkinshaw. And Walkinshaw may beat Tickford, and I think that would probably be fair to say. I think we can expect WAU to come 3rd in the team's championship because they'll have 2 solid steerers. They came 4th in 2021, pretty much a one-car team. Bryce was having a tough year, and Nick Percat was having another great year at BJR, but when your teammates are all the way down the order and not doing as well as you, you're thinking, where's this all leading me? Prediction is, let's say DJR first, 888 second, WAU 3rd, Tickford 4th, safe bet, Erebus 5th. Alright, let's say that BJR lose to Team 18. Team 18 have got great drivers. They've got consistency on all areas. They'll have this... who's the team manager? Steve Henderson. Steve Henderson is team manager again. Phil Keat is the engineer of Scott Pye. Richard Holway is the overall technical director. That's a team that has got a lot of good heads, and they should be able to do another solid season in 2022. And Charlie is obviously the sort of person to put money where his mouth is. They don't come out of nowhere, they come out of having a difficult time and really challenge the front runners. I'd say Team 18 would probably beat Brad Jones Racing because of all the change that BJR are going through, and they're likely to have another... They're just getting themselves another Nick Percat. That's what they're doing. Grove Racing with 2 solid steerers in Dave Reynolds and Lee Holdsworth. Lee Holdsworth is a good qualifier. He's also a decent racer. And Dave Reynolds is a good racer as well. Great qualifier. In his first year with the team in 2011, that's what got him out of the team, was doing so well in qualifying. The shootout lap at Townsville, qualifying at Bathurst. So as long as the cars are good at Grove Racing, they should be able to have... It isn't always the case that experience makes for great results. You just need top drivers, and then if the cars are good, the results will probably be there. But Erebus obviously shot forward, and you could say that's because of having a great driver in Dave Reynolds and having a great CEO in Barry Ryan. Barry Ryan has shown over the entire time that Erebus have become a contender that he's pretty much the consistent thing in that team. They've stayed up the front, and Barry Ryan doesn't talk rubbish either. He's the guy that says, this is what we're doing, we should be just as good as we were last year. Grove Racing had pretty much the same season of 2021 as they did in 2020. Obviously Dave missed 2 of the Sydney rounds, so if he didn't have those DNFs he would have been further up. Reynolds obviously had his absence. He probably would have got a couple top 10s because he was competitive. He was competitive at Sydney. So that's all I've got to say about the mid-pack. So let's just run through. I did talk extensively about BJR. Erebus are pretty much a given. They should be beating Team18, Brad Jones Racing, and Grove Racing. Grove Racing are sort of on the upwards. They have Dave Couchy coming in as the team principal, which is going to be great for Couchy. And then they've got 2 very experienced drivers in Dave Reynolds and Lee Holdsworth. So that's going to be great for the team. They should be able to have the same sort of, if the cars are the same as they have been the last 2 years, roughly as competitive, it should be up there. And they did qualify better in 2021 compared to 2020. Roughly the same race performances though, which is a part of the issue for them. That's my video for, and I hope that I'm right. It's sort of like a bit of a preparation sort of prediction video, trying to do a better job than that I have done since 2018. I'm not very good at making predictions, and so I'm trying a little bit harder to analyse the data, look at where the movements are happening, and look at what's happened in the past, and make a guess based on that. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that topic at the moment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.